First of all, thank you very much, Carl, for joining us once again. So, caught in between is India. India is under a lot of pressure from a lot of sides and does not know what to do. How do you look at their position right now?
Yeah, so U.S. wants India basically to cut ties with Russia. That means stop purchasing Russian oil, stop purchasing Russian weapon. Why India buys Russia oil? Because it's cheap. It makes sense for India to get the cheapest source of oil, and India and Russia's relationship actually goes way back to the Cold War. Because back then United States was favoring Pakistan, and so India was leaning toward uh, Soviet Union, and that relationship carried over to modern day Russia and India. So India today still source a lot of its weapon system from Russia. It buys Russian oil, and U.S. wants them to. Oh no, you have to cut them off. Like how does one even go about doing that? And the problem with United States, they offer only big sticks, no carrots, right? I mean, what United States actually wants India to do is purchase F-35 from US. I mean, F-35 is a piece of crap. I'm sorry, that's a piece of crap. That's a very expensive piece of crap. And so India and it's not gonna, India has been very adamant that they're not gonna forsake Russia and abandon the Indian Russian relationship. This is why US have been really putting on the screw on India right now. They're slapping India with 25% tariff as we speak. And this, I think, it's a rude awakening to the Indian leadership, because for the longest time, they have overestimated their influence in Washington. Because they thought maybe because they have a Indian American lobby in US, as Indian Americans are becoming more influential and growing in numbers in the United States, they actually have a say. But actually, they don't. India still don't have a say. They're not Israel. They need to realize India is not Israel. Israel is a golden child, right? Israel will always be taken care of by United States. But when it comes to priorities, I mean, Israel is like up here, India is like down there. I mean, like they cannot even compare or dare to compete with Israel for attention of the United States. So India cannot tell U.S. what to do. This is another problem when it comes to negotiation with United States. India actually do not have many cards. For example, when it comes to tariff, China could say no. When U.S. slap on tariff on China, okay, we'll slap tariffs right back, because China knows China has all the cards. China is the producer. Producers have power. Um, Whereas India's right now, they're still trying to gain access to the U.S. market, U.S. technology. A lot of the Indian service sector depending on providing back office support for big multinationals based in U.S. and Europe. So they can't afford to lose that relationship. So they are the one has a weaker hand in right now, and they're coming lately to realize that that they're not in the position to tell U.S. what to do, and it's vice versa. And now they're just getting squeezed just like everybody else. And by the way, when Donald Trump starts slapping tariff on everyone, if everyone had a coordinated response, if they all acted like together with China, say, you know what, that's ridiculous,
Stop
we're not
it.
going to
Yeah.
play with this game, and then coordinate among themselves to have a united front, they would have gotten much better deal from United States. Instead, what the Europeans and including Indian leaders, they rush to Washington. They're trying to be the first to get a deal, and then they just get slapped on their faces because Trump, he does not respect weakness. Trump only respects strength. And after for India, it got worse after the Indian-Pakistan conflict when Pakistan clearly had an upper hand, especially on the first day of aerial battle. and then that exposed the big weakness of India. One reason U.S. and Trump wants to rope in India on the anti-China alliance is because they want to leverage India as a counterbalance against China. Well, you just got beaten by Pakistan using Chinese weapon platform. Okay, so maybe India is not that great of an asset to use against China. Again, people need to remember Trump only respects strength. He despises weakness. Trump and U.S. they're like bullies, like schoolyard bully. The only correct response to a schoolyard bully is break his nose, make him bleed. That's how you stop bullying. If you try to appease a bully, he's gonna make your life even more miserable, because bullies, they prey on weakness. And this is how you gotta understand Trump. He will prey on your weakness. And the Indian leadership, Modi, they're just learning the hard lesson right now. All that appeasement to United States won't get you anything. Look at the Philippines. Philippines also did everything U.S. asked, try to be the Ukraine of Asia to fight China. Philippines got their tariff lowered 1%. 1%. That's almost a joke. And here and here, at least they got off with 19% tariff. India got slapped with 25% tariff. And this is all because
Well, Pakistan came
Trump
down
sees
10 points.
India as
We'll
weak.
discuss that as well. Pakistan came down 10 points. We'll discuss why is America snuggling up with Pakistan and actually burning India. And Pakistan also understands and sees through Trump's statement. But that's another thing. What is happening in the National Assembly of India? Are you following that?
No,
It's
I have not
it's
followed
complete
Indian
fire. It's
internal
complete
politics,
fire. So
but
yeah, so it's the opposition is all over the government asking questions. The opposition leader yesterday, day before yesterday, gave a pretty heated speech in the assembly, and they're going through some tough time. Whether it's the conflict between Pakistan and India, whether it's the ties with America, whether it's their ties with China as well. So they're going through a lot of things.
But to be fair, the Congress Party, they would not do any better. I mean, when they were in the power, they're doing the same shit. They were also cozying up to United States and trying to contain China. They're just in the opposition, so they start criticizing BJP policies. But the Indian leadership for the past 20 years basically have pursued the same policy of appeasing, cozying up to the U.S. Trying to position themselves as as a potential cornerstone of U.S. anti-China alliance member, and that has been the card that has been played, and now they're just dealing with the consequences. And but Pakistan, I think they play Trump like a fiddle, because they understand, okay, this guy is an egomaniac. You just got to flatter him. You just got to you just play up to his ego, butter him up a little bit. And so this is right. Oh, first of all, also, this is related. Like I said, Trump respects strength. He despises weakness. Pakistan showed that they had an upper hand versus India in the Pakistan-Indian conflict. Automatically, that elevates Pakistan in Trump's eyes. And then immediately afterwards, Pakistan, play to Trump's ego, say, thank you so much for like putting together ceasefire. We're gonna nominate you for Nobel Peace Prize.
And they did.
That plays perfect. And that plays perfectly to Trump. Trump eat that shit up. And then this is how for other countries they should take note from Pakistan. Just Trump, just flatter Trump. Flattery costs nothing. Flattery costs nothing.
So
And
so
then
so
that will win you. That will win you a lot of maneuver room versus United States. So that's
true
exactly
that.
what happened. Like after Pakistan Indian conflict.
So suddenly we see a tweet, we see a post from Donald Trump saying things about Pakistan's oil reserves and how we can produce together and how we can sell it to the world and someday to India as well. That even was a surprise for Pakistanis. We were like, what is going on?
Well, it's easy, man. You just need to, butter him up with compliments, and suddenly he will be like, "Oh, okay, we're all friends," and that's how Trump works. People say he's unpredictable, but man, he's so predictable. This type of guy, he's like flattery. Just remember, flattery always works, and no cost to yourself.
So yeah, I missed a question, and that would be, what would China be feeling while seeing America and Pakistan coming a bit closer? How would that be for China?
That is fine. I mean, Pakistan had a close relationship with U.S. all throughout the Cold War, right? And in fact, the Pakistan was a conduit for China to reach out to United States before Nixon visit. It was through the Pakistan government that China passed a message, and when Kissinger came before he came to China, he stopped by Pakistan, and then he went there from there to China. So for a long time, Pakistan was kind of go between U.S. and China. China have no problem with other countries, having friendly relation with U.S. For example, um, like you saw what happened when one of the reason U.S. is placing tariff. Another reason U.S. is placing tariff on everyone else is they're trying to prevent transshipment of Chinese goods through a third country, right? So China do a lot of trade with Southeast Asia, for example, and they have a lot of investment in Southeast Asia. And one of the things that U.S. is trying to prevent is those Chinese factories that just ship all the components to be assembled to Vietnam, slap on "Made in Vietnam" label, and get re-exported to United States. So in a way, China very much like to have everyone to have great relationship, including with United States, because that only helps China. But this is the kind of mentality American fail to understand. They think, the Chinese are out to get us. Chinese are out to replace us as the global hegemon. Like, no. China rather have everybody just to sit down to do business, because China's business is business. America's business is war. See, that's the fundamental difference. This is why you know for China's neighboring countries, if they improve ties with United States, that's just an additional channel for China to U.S. either to get technology or to export goods. It's China has a non-interference foreign policy precisely for reasons like this. This is just China don't play that kind of proxy game the United States does. As far as China's concerned, you can do whatever you want. You can conduct your foreign policy however you want. Just as long as you recognize Taiwan as part of China, and then let's just do business. Let's just do business, make money together. Uh, but that's not the American mentality, but that's Chinese mentality.
A lot of people might not know that Pakistan and America has this security relationship. It's beyond the economic relationship that India has with. So whenever their relationship bounces back, it would bounce ahead of India and a US relationship. But there's a slight difference. Pakistan and US relationship is a relationship between governments and administration. Pakistan and China relationship is a relationship between the people of the both countries. So this goes a long, long way. So Pakistan actually sees through whatever Trump is saying and just playing along.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. I mean, like, because Pakistanis, they saw what U.S. did during the so-called Great War on Terror. They were droning everybody, including people inside Pakistan. China is not doing that, so that's a big difference. And but for China's perspective, it doesn't hurt China if other countries have friendly ties with U.S., but also at the same time have friendly ties with China, that means that's an extra conduit for China to either get U.S. technology or to push out Chinese goods, and that's all good.
And
That's
as
all
long
good.
as we
As long
remember,
as like there's like no U.S. military posting on the border of China, so that would be a big no-no. But as long as it doesn't get to that point.